Morning guys. I just put on my channel Lightning Last that I'd been doing Slimming World, and I got a few comments. And one of the comments was that are you going to do any recipes or are you going to explain free foods? So I thought yes I could do. So I'm just going to put this up today on my channel, Slimming World with Mish. I hate that name. I need to change it. But anyway, I'm going to put this one up on my channel just free for all and not in a vlog so that she can maybe see it. So if you're watching, this is for you. And I think it's your daughter that's starting on Slimming World and just wants to know like what are free foods. But my biggest advice ever on Slimming World is to get to class. Biggest advice ever that could ever happen. Now, some people don't like class. My friend doesn't like class, but I love class. I just think it's brilliant. You get motivation, you get to chat about stuff, you get people who give you tips. But first of all, the best thing is when you first arrive, they give you the booklets and you can get all the information you need from your leader, from your coach, from the person who takes the class. And that is invaluable because they're going to show you everything that you need to know about Slimming World. They're going to show you the free foods, the healthy A, the healthy B, everything. So please, if you watch this and think, oh, I'll take her as word, don't go to a class. My biggest advice. And if you don't go to class after that, that's okay. But just go to the class and get all the information you need first. You don't need to go back to class. You can still stay online because there are some people who don't like to go to class. But also, if you're worried about talking in class or anything like that, you can just say to your leader, please, I don't want to bring up anything. I want to try and keep my discussion quiet. So you don't need to chat in class if you don't want to. You can just listen to the advice and the knowledge that you're going to get from everyone else who might have been in class for a longer time than you've been. And so, well, obviously if it's your first night, and then they can give you kind of like encouragement or advice or just in general little tips to do really well in Slimming World. That is my advice. Now, so to get into it, if you want to know about the Slimming World plan. Now, I have been on it for 7 weeks and 3 days. So I'm getting to grips with it. I am in no way an expert. On Weight Watchers, I was an expert. I can fully say this. I was an expert in Weight Watchers because I'd been on it for years. Slimming World, I'm not an expert. I'm just getting used to it. And there's some things that I fail on and some things I think, oh no. So if you have the online plan, or you're with the group every week, you get a Slimming World app. Now, it's not the best app in the world, but it's got recipes on there and you can search foods, and I love that. So you can search any food and it should have a SIN value to it, which is great. And it'll tell you at the sides in little green if it's in a healthy extra or so on. So really, you need the class or you need the app or you need the online help. That's a definite alongside this video. So this is my explanation of what, and I haven't got any of my books with me, so this is just learning in 7 weeks and 4 days, and people might have said, oh, you've maybe missed some stuff out. But what you have is free foods and a healthy extra A and a healthy extra B, and then your SINs, and that's how it works. Now, you're allowed 1 healthy extra A a day and 1 healthy extra B a day. You're allowed unlimited free foods, and you're allowed 5 to 15 SINs per day. Now, try not to eat under 5, they say. I'll just put the sound down a wee bit. Try to eat under 5 SINs if you can. Try not to eat under 5 SINs. So keep it between 5 and 15. You don't need to eat up to the 15 if you don't want to. And you can have an umbrella of flexible SINs, which you can use on occasions only. Try not to use that every week. Use it if you're going to a wedding or if you're going out for the weekend. You can dip into your flexible SINs. And that is 15 SINs times by 7, which is 105 SINs for the week. And then you can use it flexible. So you could maybe use 5 of them on a Monday, but then keep 50 of them for a Saturday. Now, it's best not to use that every single week. It's best just to use that for occasions. Okay, so healthy, your healthy extra A is your milk, your cheese, things like that. So you can have 250 ml of semi-skim milk in that day, so you're allowed to have that. So some people, like my mother-in-law, she measures her milk, so then she can have unlimited cups of tea as long as she doesn't go over the 250 ml. or you can half them up. So what I do is I use about 50 ml of milk for my tea or my coffee. So generally have 1 or 2 a day, that's it. And then the rest I'll use for cheese. So you're allowed 30 grams of cheese, like cheddar cheese. But if I was having half from my milk, I'd have 15 grams of cheese to put on a sprinkling of something if I was having a dinner. But then if I don't use my milk, so I just have like 20 ml and I only have 1 cup of coffee, I can then have like things like Dairy lightest cheese triangles. You can have 6 of them for your Healthy Extra A. Now if you were having that milk, I would have 5 of the cheese. Or if you're not a milk drinker, you can have 6 of the cheese. So 6 of them to make macaroni cheese is absolutely lush. You only need 3 for macaroni cheese because the pasta would be free and the veg would be free. I always weigh my pasta though. I always weigh it 75 grams because I never eat unlimited pasta because a crazy bowl of pasta is not good for a diet. But if you were in Slimming World, they would tell you you don't need to weigh it. You can just go for it. But I always do 75 grams is my rule, and that's with pasta or spaghetti. Right, so that's the healthy option A explained. So that's your milk and your cheese, and some of those are little options that I've used. I don't use any of the others, so there is more information on what you could use if you get the book from Slimming World. Then you have the healthy option B, Healthy Extra B, which is your fibre intake. And that can be your breads and your cracker beds or your little bars. So what I use is my bars, so Alpenlight or the Hi-Fi bars that you get from class. I recommend 100 and million trillion % get to class, buy Hi-Fi bars. If you go to class for anything else, it's just those. They are the best things ever. I buy 2 a week. They are expensive at £1.95 for 5 or for 6. Now, I know some people might be thinking that's not expensive, but for me on a budget, that is expensive. So it's £8.95 a week I spend at Slimming World, and that's for my class plus the 2 Hi-Fi bars boxes. Now, they are the best biscuit bar things I've ever tasted for a diet. They're just gorgeous. Alpenlight, all of them are gorgeous and they're cheaper, but the Hi-Fi bars just knock it out the park. They have unbelievable flavour. The chocolate ones can have like chocolate stuff on the top. It's just amazing. And I have them for my breakfast every single morning, 2 of them, and that's my Healthy Extra B. So if you have 2 of the Hi-Fi bars, that's your Healthy Extra B. But you can have 2 slices of whole Vis 400-gram loaf, and you have 2 slices of those for your Healthy Extra B. Now remember, you're allowed 1 Healthy Extra A and 1 Healthy Extra B. So there you've got your milk and your cheese, and there you've got 2 slices of bread if you want it on the 400-gram loaf, or you could have 2 of the bars, or you could have porridge, or you could have a cereal at 40 grams. So they're not amazingly massive portions, they're going to be smaller. So if you're having, for example, a bowl of whatever, cornflakes or whatever it is, I don't eat that, so I guess it could be bran flakes, that's maybe in your Healthy Extra B, or your porridge. Then you use 100 ml of milk, that's from your Healthy Extra A. So those 2 would be in. Now, if you fancied a bowl of cornflakes later on in the day and you've used those, you then sin them. So they become sin then, if you've already used your Healthy Extra A and your Healthy Extra B. Is this confusing? Right, so they're out of the way. Those are the 2 things that you're allowed every single day. Today I have had 2 Hi-Fi bars, or 2 Alpenlight bars, so that's my Healthy Extra B gone. So if I wanted bread, I'd have to sin it. If I wanted a roll, I'd have to sin it. I've had about 25 ml of milk, so I still have a load of my Healthy Extra A that I could use, just say I wanted something for lunch or a bit of cheese on something. Right, now we go on to our free foods. Now, our free foods are pastas, potatoes, rice, stuff like that. So I eat tons of that. So baked potatoes free, your beans are free, your chips are free. So if you make Slimming World chips, which is a godsend, it's an absolute godsend. What you do is you get some Maris Pipers or whatever potatoes you like, chop them up, boil them, parboil them. I parboil them for a lot longer than you're supposed to because I like them really soft. Then stick them in the oven, use a bit of Frylight, which is free, and you put them in there for about 20 minutes, and there you've got stunning Slimming World chips, and you can have them every day of your life. Pasta's free. Mince is free as long as it's 3% or less, like turkey mince, or that's what I don't use beef mince, I only use turkey mince. Ham, cooked meats, they're free. Always double check, because if you have like a chicken tikka one, that might not be free, but if you've got chicken breast or you've got turkey breast or something like that, they are going to be free. What else do I eat? So I eat a lot of things like spaghetti bolognese, but your spaghetti bolognese, for example, you would get your 3% mince, turkey mince, and you'd have a tin of tomatoes, load of veg, and voila, there's your dinner with 75 grams of spaghetti. You're done. Now, Slimming World always try and emphasise that you can put a third of your plate speed foods. So 1/3 would be speed, and the other part of your plate would be your food, and that is to really focus on portion control. So if you're having a massive portion of food every single day, the chances are you're not going to lose as much weight, you're not going to food optimize. So if you fill your plate with salad or veg or all the speed foods, now there's another issue. If you go to class, you need to go to class and get the book, you're going to find a list with speed at the side. And if it says speed food, that is optimizing. So you are going to lose more weight if you eat more of the speed foods and less of the other foods. Now, Slimming World don't want you to go hungry. You don't need to do that. You don't need to go hungry. You can eat. But if you food optimize and eat a little bit more of the speed or increase your speed, you are then going to lose more weight, and it's better for you then. So broccoli, speed food, beetroot, speed food. But things like sweet corn, they're not speed food. Banana, they're not speed food. So you don't really want to eat 10 bananas. Apples are speed foods. So if you have an apple for a snack in between times, then that's way better. You can enjoy that. So they're all the kind of free foods that you can use. And I absolutely love it because I love potatoes, I love carbs, but I always, what was I trying to say? I always weigh my pasta so I don't make it too gluttonous. And if I'm having chips, I have a normal portion for a person. So 2 or 3 potatoes, chop them up into chips and put them up. That might be quite a lot for some people, but it's not a lot for me. I find that quite enough. With some pasta or something like that. One of my favourites is the Batchelors pasta and sauce sachets. They are the best in the world. You add 100 ml of milk and the rest 250 ml of water. That's 2.5 sins. Isn't that insane? And you've used your 100 ml from your milk. You don't need to, you can just use water. But I like to use milk. I like the taste, so that's my choice. So that is 2.5 sins for that. But because you've got your pasta, which is free, so on Weight Watchers, a Batchelor's pasta and sauce is going to cost you loads of points, but because part of it is with the with pasta, which is a free food, you're only really then pointing or sinning your sauce that's in the pasta dish thing. Right, okay, so that is some of our Healthy Extra A, Healthy Extra B, and our free foods. Now we're going to go on to our sins. So everything will have a sin if it's not free. So you could type in something and you're going to find the sin. So randomly in the top of my head, a Freddo, a little baby Freddo, they are 5 sins. If you get the caramel one, it's 4.5 sins. So if you have 5 to 15 sins per day, you're going to have to be careful how you use your sins. So I had a little mini Mars bar, it was about that size, that was 7.5 sins. So I had that as a treat after weigh day, and I used that as 7.5 sins. If you wanted, because those 2 bars, Alpenlights, they are your Healthy Extra B. Now you've had that, but you fancy another one later on in the night, that would be 3 sins. But then all of those ones have loads of sins, so there's Hi-Fi bars are 3 sins, the Alpenlight are 3 sins, the 89p Asda bars are 3 sins. The Mars bar, if you want a proper one, it's about 12 sins. Now remember, you have 5 to 15 sins. Now, if you have the book, you've got a list of sins right at the back. If you have the app, you can type in and you're going to get your sins. So again, I can't emphasize enough, go to class, get your books, be an online member, ask for help. It's the best way to do it. This video is not going to give you the information you need because it's a rambling video that it's hard to understand when other people tell you. You have to just try and get the book and read it and totally learn it and get into it. Right, okay, so that is sins. Also, if you are unsure of the sins, it's 1 sin per 20 calories. So if you're in a shop and it really muddies the water if there's some free foods in there. That's when it's tricky and it's hard to even sin it. But if there's no free foods and it's a chocolate cake and it's 200 calories, then that's going to be a lot of sins. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 to 10 sins if you wanted to have that chocolate cake at 200 calories. What chocolate cake is, I don't know. So you can do it that way. But yeah, I think I'm at the end now. It's been 15 minutes of me rabbiting on. I hope I didn't take too many tangents and you could totally get where I was coming from on that whole speech. So really, as a roundup, you've got your 1 healthy extra A per day, your 1 healthy extra B per day, which is your milk and your fibre, or your dairy and your fibre. Then you have a list of your free foods that you can eat unlimited, but try to use 1/3 of the plate as speed foods and to increase your speed foods rather than what you're eating. Now, for example, bacon and all of these, visible fat removed. Always cook in fry light, so you mustn't cook in these full fat oils or whatever. Or if you do, you can sin them if you don't like the taste of fry light, which I do not. I hate fry light, but I use it. You could maybe then sin your oil, or you could sin your butter if you wanted butter on toast. But remember, the toast is the 400 grams. And then we have the sins, which is your 5 to 15 per day. Everything has a sin value. You can find it in the app and you can type it in and you'll find out what has a sin. So I know the Big Tasty from McDonald's has 40 sins. But if you were having a night away, or you were going somewhere, you could use your flexible sins, 105 sins per the week. So you could have that Big Tasty and some chips. But the rest of the week you'd have to limit yourself on your sins and you'd have to then use more free foods and you wouldn't be able to snack in between, or you could on speed foods like apples. So there is a possibility to live on Slimming World. You don't need to be as strict as you like. There is a life on Slimming World. And I've talked about the speed foods. They're very, very important. And your protein foods like your beans and your meats and all of that stuff, which is so good. There are other ways you can eat on Slimming World, such as Extra Easy, SP. I do not do those. Those are more stricter options that you'd maybe use if you're wanting to really optimize your weight loss for 1 week. If you want an extra boost to your weight loss, and that's things like eating more speed foods and proteins. You still get your healthy extra A and 2 B choices, I think, and your 5 to 15 sins, but you're not going to eat any free foods. But that's an extra thing that you'd have to talk to your leader about. You'd have to talk to someone in class about, because it's a little bit more in depth and you'd have to learn about that. But it's also in the book that you get from class. Alright, I'm going to end it there. That is a massive video. 18 minutes, me rambling on. I hope you got kind of what I was meaning on Slimming World. And remember, I am not a leader. I am not a member of years. I am a member of 7 weeks and 4 days. I am just learning. I am learning my choices through. So what I gave you there are my choices that I eat in a day. Now, other people eat a more varied diet in a more varied way to use their sins and use their free foods and use their speed foods. And for that, I recommend watching quite a few channels on YouTube. There's quite a few that I've used as massive support, but also my biggest advice is all, and what I started off at the start of the video way back 18 minutes ago, please go to class. It's the biggest thing you can do. Go to class, get the books, get the information, and then if you can, go back the next week, go back the week after, and buy Hi-Fi bars. You will not regret it. You will love it. And yeah, that's it. If you can't get to class, do online, get your app, but try and get that one time where you get the books, because you need them. Honestly, you do. You can't just take this advice that I'm giving you. I'm just some random person who's been on it for 7 weeks and 4 days. Oh, but I enjoy doing it. I hope someone gets something out of that, and I motivate you. I love Slimming World. I love it with a passion. I've only been on it a little bit, but I think it's an absolute genius way of life. It's not a diet, it's a change of lifestyle. I think I will always be a Slimming World girl now, I mean, I might, to optimize my weight loss, I might have to do extra easy and SP. I won't lose all the time. You will get to a plateau part, but I know that Slimming World has made me think differently. It has. So when I go for Christmas now, I think, why would I ever put a sauce on my spaghetti bolognese? I'll always make it the way I make it. Why would I ever choose to fry some chips when I can make Slimming World chips? Why would I ever make macaroni and cheese with that full fat sauce when you can make a gorgeous one that I love? So it's changed the way I've done. Last night I had, or the night before, I had sausages, 2 rosemary sausages, which were free by Linda McCartney, so they're vegetarian, a load of potatoes and veg. Like, that is my favourite dinner of all. I can go to a carvery and eat a cooked dinner. Just limit my roasters, don't have the Yorkshire pudding, and don't eat as much of the gravy. You can, just sin it. But for me, it's changed my way of life, and I honestly think I will be, and even if I want to binge or I go on holiday, I'll always try and find the Slimming World options for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Because I haven't even mentioned the breakfast. The breakfast you can have on Slimming World is insane. You can have a whole tin of beans, 2 eggs, 2 bits of bacon, 2 sausages, and so you can have that whole breakfast for free, which is insane. So you can have a full massive breakfast and be guilt-free, which is just insane. Obviously it's healthy, it's stuff that's been grilled, and you've got to take off visible fat, and you've got to find the Slimming World versions that are better. But that's just a massive change in the way of eating. You can do all that and still lose weight. Alright, I'm gonna go now, that's the end. So take care of yourself, comment down below if you're starting. What are you excited? Are you nervous? Alright, and I will do an update on this after I've done 6 months of Slimming World and see how much more I've learned and how much more I can give back to you guys, because obviously I'm way at the start of my journey. Alright, take care, bye!